Hare Krishna. Welcome all devotees for our Saturday Srimad Bhagavatham 10th Canto detailed study class. As usual, we have our teacher, Sri Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu with us. So on behalf of all the assembled devotees, we will welcome Prabhuji by chanting 3 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra. All together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu, you can proceed now.
Yeah. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Nitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Vaijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Dalita Shri Vishakam Nidamsha Namam Vishnuvadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatadeshatarine Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauravise Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhi Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhyadevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gauravaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, welcome all to our Canto study. So, we were in which chapter?
57, bro.
Yeah. Shamantak Mani conspiracy. Satrajit murdered, the jewel returned. So the continuous chapter. Yeah. Who would like to read the summary?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, bro. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Chapter 57. Satrajit murdered, the jewel returned. This chapter describes how Lord Krishna, after the murder of Satrajit, killed Shatadanva and had Akrura bring the Syamantaka jewel back to Dwaraka. When Lord Sri Krishna heard that the Pandavas had supposedly been burned to death in the palace of Lak, he went to Hastinapura with Lord Baladeva to maintain the principles of worldly protocol. Even though being omniscient, he knew the report was false. With Krishna out of Dwaraka, Akrura and Kritavarma incited Shatadanva to steal the Syamantaka jewel from Satrajit. Bewildered by their words, the sinful Shatadanva murdered King Satrajit in his sleep and stole the gem. Queen Satyabhama was overcome with grief at the death of her father, and she rushed to Hastinapura to report the sorrowful news to Sri Krishna. Together with Lord Baladeva, Krishna then returned to Dwaraka to kill Shatadanva. Shatadanva went to Akrura and Kritavarma to beg for help, but when they refused, he left the jewel with Akrura and fled for his life. Krishna and Balarama pursued him, and Lord Krishna beheaded him with his sharp-edged disc. When the Lord could not find the Syamantaka jewel on Shatadanva's person, Baladeva told him that Shatadanva must have left it in someone's care. Baladeva further suggested that Krishna return to Dwaraka to find the jewel while he, Baladeva, would take the opportunity to visit the king of Videha. Thus, Lord Balarama traveled to Mithila and remained there for a few years, during which he taught King Duryodhana the art of fighting with a club. Lord Krishna returned to Dwaraka and had the funeral rites performed for Satrajit. When Akrura and Kritavarma heard how Shatadanva had met his death, they fled Dwaraka. Soon many kinds of disturbances, mental, physical, and so on, began to afflict Dwaraka, and the citizens concluded that the cause of these troubles must be Akrura's exile. The city elders explained, once there was a drought in Benares, and the king of the region gave his daughter in marriage to Akrura's father, who was visiting Benares at the time. As a result of this gift, the drought ended. The elders, thinking Akrura had the same power as his father, declared that Akrura should be brought back. Lord Krishna knew that Akrura's exile was not the main cause of the disturbances. Still, he had Akrura brought back to Dwaraka, and after properly honoring him with worship and greeting him with sweet words, Krishna told him, I know Shatadanva left the jewel in your care. Since Satrajit had no sons, his daughter's offspring are just the claimants to whatever property he has left behind. Nonetheless, it would be best for you to keep the troublesome jewel in your care. Just let me show it once to my relatives. Akrura presented Krishna with the jewel, which shone as brilliantly as the sun, and after the Lord had shown it to his family members, he returned it to Akrura. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So this is now story has come till Satrajit. The jewel is with Satrajit, and now Krishna has brought the jewel and gave back Satrajit, and then Satrajit, as a repentance, he gives the jewel to Krishna, as well as who he gives along with the jewel?
Mother Satyabhama.
Satyabhama. So now Krishna has first wife is Rukmini, second is Jambavati, and third is Satyabhama. Like that. So although Krishna, Satrajit gives the jewel, but Krishna actually wants to test Satrajit, and he says, no, I just would like to have take Satyabhama, but you keep the jewel. And then Satrajit keeps actually. So there Krishna was testing. He actually wanted to see whether he really wants to give. But Satrajit really didn't want to give. So that's why when Krishna says no, then he keeps. So now, once what happened, the Kauravas had conspired to kill the Pandavas, and in the house of Lac. And the news of Pandava's death reached Krishna. And Krishna and Balram then head towards Hastinapur to see what happened to the Pandavas, the cousins. And then Krishna, although knew that they are not dead, he still just cries as a custom. And Krishna and Balram, they go to Hastinapur and they are crying. But then what happens during that time? They conspire here. Akrura, Kritavarma and Shatadanva, they all conspire to kill the owner. The jewel is with whom? To kill that person. But actually, jewel is a dangerous thing. So the jewel is now with Satrajit. And now Akrura, Kritavarma and Shatadhanva, they all conspire. You're able to see the PPT?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Something is missing. Oh, yeah. Shatadhanva kills Satrajit and steals the jewel. So what he does, Shatadhanva means Akrur and Kritavarma, they tell to Shatadhanva that you go and kill Satrajit and take the jewel. Actually, what has happened that Satyabhama was to be given to, I think, Kritavarma. So then, but she is given to Krishna, so he is unhappy. So that's why Kritavarma along with Akrura and Shatadhanva, they plan to kill Satrajit and steal the jewel. And then they hire Shatadhanva, and Shatadhanva goes with a big sword. And in the dead of the night, when Satrajit in his house, they go in his house and they kill him, cold-blooded murder. Actually, that is directly in front of all. They are crying and they kill him in front of everybody like that. Satrajit is dead, and Shatadhanva steals that and runs. Now this news reaches Krishna and Balram. And Satyabhama herself goes to Hastinapur and gives this news. And then hearing that news, Krishna and Balram, they are already crying there. And then they come here and they again cry. Oh, they are now Krishna's father-in-law is dead. And then Krishna and Balram, they vow to kill Shatadhanva. So now one may think that why this is happening, such a controversy. Because yeah, see, you see Akrura. So now if you see what scene you are seeing here,
Akrura taking Krishna and Balaram to Mathura. The gopis are following.
Where is Radharani?
She is about to faint.
You see Radharani also?
Yes, in the middle.
Yeah,
Falling,
this
falling.
is in the blue dress. Yeah. So
Hello is
see,
there around head. Highlighted.
yeah. So just try to imagine if you were there, how much grief you would have. Krishna now leaving Vrindavan. So actually, we are just we just started the next chapter. Akrura takes Krishna, Balram, and then Krishna, and they enter Mathura, and then how they kill. But actually, the great acharyas, many of them, they don't enter those chapters only. They just go till that chapter where Akrura is taking away, and our Kavi Karnapur, he didn't read only what is there ahead. Because he was in so much distress, Krishna leaving Vrindavan. So he didn't read the other chapters. He wrote that Anand Vrindavan Champu till that only, where Krishna performs his pastime in Vrindavan. Kavi Karnapur couldn't take that Krishna is living Vrindavan. But we left. We took Krishna away from Vrindavan to Mathura, and now we have taken him to Dwarka. So we are not feeling that feelings as what gopis and what Kavi Karnapur. But some of you might be feeling, I don't know, that kind of feeling may be there. But at least we have gone ahead in many other chapters, 57 chapters. So Kavi Karnapur didn't go. But anyway, why this Akrura's thing has come here? If you see, now you may feel that why Akrura got entangled in this Shamantak conspiracy. Because he is a pure devotee, we know. And he, along with Kritavarma and Shatadhanva, they conspired and killed Satrajit, Satyabhama's father, and then they stole the jewel. And then how Akrura is involved in that? Somebody might think. So Acharyas give the example that Akrura did one mistake while taking Krishna and Balram away. Can anybody guess what was the mistake he did?
Hare Krishna
He
Prabhu.
did not
He did
stop that.
Vaishnava.
So Mataji is saying something.
Prabhu, he did the Vaishnava aparadha to the gopis.
Oh, but that was Krishna's desire only. That he takes there go and he comes and he was following the orders of Krishna. Any other answer?
He didn't have any sympathy, Prabhuji, for the gopis. Like he was like
He was
Krura.
taking Krishna away from devotees.
He was not feeling compassionate for the gopis, and he had that mindset.
Okay.
Maybe I don't guess.
If just imagine you were Amal Arjun, you were there on the chariot of Krishna in place of Akrura, taking Krishna and Balram away, what you will do?
I will not move the chariot, Prabhuji.
But Krishna's desire is to go to Mathura and kill Kamsa, but the gopis wanted to stop and Krishna wanted to go. So what will you do?
Yeah, we don't have a choice, but we'll feel so compassionate that we'll not feel like riding the horse.
You will get down and run away from there. इधर कुआं उधर खाई ऐसा बोलते हैं ना. Akrura was in quite a fix. So what the acharyas tell is okay, he had to do that anyways. That some of you said that actually Akrura would have consoled the gopis, pacified the gopis that actually they are in Mathura, Kamsa is there and Lord Krishna and they are coming to kill Kamsa and then Krishna will come back after some time. He's going to come. So he didn't pacify them, console them. So that was a small mistake. That was not a big mistake, but that was a small mistake. But that small mistake was against very great devotees. That is gopis. That's why that mistake became very great. So this small mistake was he didn't console the gopis. He is just, you see, here he is just moving ahead. And he is feeling, so what? That is duty, that is will of Krishna. I am executing will of Krishna. And what is the problem? Just go ahead, that's all. And he didn't look back what gopis are feeling, or at least try to console them, actually try to tell them that Krishna will come back after some time, let him go. Their actual Kamsa is creating so much havoc and he has to come in. So like that, something at least he should have spoken to the gopis. But he didn't do any of that. You see how he's just marching ahead. So that was a mistake. And that's why he got entangled in this Shamantak jewel conspiracy. Otherwise, he is such a great devotee. And we see Akrura's prayers. They are like the epitome of all prayers. Vandanam, he is the Acharya. The Acharya in Vandanam, he got entangled in a money. Shamantak money. So why? Only because of this reason. Gopis, he did aparadh, and that aparadh was he didn't console them. If you could have consoled them and then taken Krishna, then that would have been okay. But he didn't do that. Actually, it's a small mistake. Even we could have done that mistake, because it was quite a difficult situation. But still, nevertheless, he committed mistake. So, first lesson we learn is a very important lesson. While executing the will of Krishna or Guru, we should not offend devotees. Sometimes we take it as a protection. This is the will of Krishna, or this is the order of my Guru. So I will just execute. In that, whether somebody is offended or somebody is, what should I do? Because I am executing will of my Guru. So in between some Vaishnava get offended, let them get offended. What to do? I am just following the will of my Guru. I am following the instruction of Lord Krishna. So I don't care about Vaishnavas. This is a mistake. So while executing the order of the Lord or executing the order of Guru, we should also take care that we should not hurt other Vaishnavas. So Akrura was trying to execute the order of Lord Krishna, but in that he should have executed in such a way that he could have even pacified the gopis also, and he could have gone. So, but he thought that I am executing order of Krishna. So what? So gopis get offended. So what? I am under Krishna's protection. You know. So many times it happens with us. How many of you feel that sometimes we get order from superior or guru and some instruction? Prabhu, you have to manage this yatra. Can you manage? Okay, you are the yatra coordinator or yatra manager or some camp or like. And then in that sometimes then we feel that it is I am empowered now. I am empowered. I can do anything. So some of you have some experience. Your manager or at least I have experience when I was manager in temple. You feel that, I am manager, I am directly under the president, and even if I say something to this fellow, that fellow, what is the problem? I am protected. I can offend. I can. So that is a mistake Akrura did. How many of you have get in such situation? And nobody has experience?
In corporate, we experience this all the time, Prabhuji.
Okay, that corporate world, that is different. In devotee circle?
Yeah, we experience it, Prabhuji, but I think we have to, as you rightly said beautifully, it's a beautiful lesson, Prabhuji, by the way. It's one of the best lessons, best lessons I have learned so far. Yeah, we have to kind of, always that balance is required. We have to strike the right balance. We should not be in any extreme situation because end of day, Vaishnavas are Vaishnavas and we need all their blessings. So little diplomacy is also required in dealing. I don't know, that's my experience. Little diplomacy is also required in spiritual sense.
Yeah,
you know?
but ultimately the Vaishnava should be pleased.
Yes.
Even if Akrura would have used diplomacy or trying to pacify the gopis, that Krishna will come back, don't worry. He will come. He is going now. He will come after some time. That may be diplomacy, but that would have pacified the gopis. So he wouldn't have got entrapped in this conspiracy.
Prabhuji, if you can allow me to just share one aspect from Mahabharata, where we know that Bhishma Dev was the strongest. He was he was capable of destroying the entire Pandava camp. So basically, Yudhishthira Maharaj goes to Bhishma Dev and says, "Please let us know how we can defeat you." And he says, "Come at the right time, and I will tell you how you can defeat me." So this is again, you go to your superior and tell something like that. I'm just trying to link this and that.
Yeah, that's also there. Basically, what this lesson, as I told you, those who are in a position of a leader or manager, for them it is all the more, because we many times in a neophyte stage think that when we are doing some service under some superior, then in pleasing that superior we get a license to offend devotees and we will still not get reaction. That is what is actually condemned, and that cannot happen because in this case it's very clear. Just like in one case of once Radhanath Maharaj was there in Chowpatty, and some of like Pune devotees they had gone there for the lecture, and when Maharaj had completed lecture, at the end of the lecture, he called one from Pune, one brahmachari was there, senior brahmachari. So he was sitting way behind in the audience. And then Maharaj saw him, and then Maharaj wanted to meet and talk with him. He's meeting in his brahmachari after a long time. So Maharaj indicated, please come. So now this brahmachari, he was so much happy that Maharaj is calling me, but he's way behind. So somehow he, came quickly to meet Maharaj, in a hurried way. And when he came near Maharaj, Maharaj had a disgusted look on his face, and he just turned his face away and he told to this devotee that don't kick Vaishnavas. That's all he told. He didn't tell anything else. So what had happened?
While coming, he might have hurriedly means put his feet like hit, like moving the devotees. So, because of the crowd, maybe.
Yeah. in the hurry of meeting Maharaj, he came so fast in that he crossed somebody and hit somebody and like that, and he came. Now Maharaj wanted to tell him something and ask, but Maharaj only told one thing to him: don't kick Vaishnavas, and he just turned away from him. So in trying to execute the order of Guru, we should not in the way offend devotees. So even the Lord will not be pleased and Guru will not be pleased. So we should try to follow the order also, and then please the Vaishnavas also. Yeah. So this is very clear in even in Sudama and Krishna, where they go, they are in Gurukul. When they are in Gurukul, that time once what happens, that there is great storm, and then Sandipuni Muni has sent them to the forest to collect some wood. So when the wood, they get some wood, while returning they see that there is a big storm, and then they don't know how to go and they lose the way in the forest. Sandipuni Muni is in great anxiety. But the whole night, they both of them, Krishna Balram, they are in the forest, they stay together. And then in the morning, Sandipani Muni goes in search of them, these two boys. And then in the morning, when he sees them, he's very happy. So now Acharyas have given a lot of explanation on that. That these two boys, in what position they were, Krishna and Sudama. How Sandipani Muni saw them.
They were shivering in the cold, Prabhuji.
Yeah, that is true. But what else?
And they wanted to just fulfill, they had all those wooden things, they were safeguarding it, and they were just waiting. Like they wanted to do the duty, fulfill the desire of the Guru. They only had that in mind, actually.
Yeah, your answer is half right. Half is missing. Anybody else?
He was moved by their their sincerity and dedication.
Okay. So how Sandipani Muni saw is that Krishna and Sudama, they were holding hand. One hand they were holding, and in other hand they had the wood. One hand they were holding each other, and the other hand they had the wood. So now the wood which was in their hand, that represents the mission which their spiritual master has told them. So the mission they completed, and they are holding each other's hand means they had relationship also. So mission and then relationship, that should go together. So one extreme would be, for the sake of mission, I will complete the mission of my Guru in such a way I will complete, but in that way you lose relationship. You do so much aparadh. Iske prati aparadh, uske prati aparadh. Oh, but ultimately I have pleased my Guru, I have done the mission, but then so many Vaishnavas, relationship is spoiled. Or other way is, your Guru has given some mission, and but you are so much with Vaishnavas and so much in making relationship with Vaishnavas devotees that you forget the mission only. So Krishna and Sudama are showing by this that in one hand they had the wood, that they complete the mission, and in completing mission they were together. So so they didn't say that okay चलो लकड़ी लाना है, किसी भी हालत में लकड़ी लाना है, mission होना चाहिए, whether you get drowned somewhere or lost somewhere, I don't care, मैं लकड़ी लाके रहूंगा बस, I will please Guru, whether you go where or somewhere you get lost, I don't care, ऐसा नहीं. And not other way, okay, we will stay together and we will save each other, lakdi gaya to gaya. So either of that they didn't do. That is either of extreme. So they complete the mission also, and they kept intact their relationship also. So this is what is very important. When we get some mission, some instruction from Guru or Krishna, we should try to fulfill that. But on the way, we should also not offend devotees. We should maintain relationship. So this is what we learn from Akrura's lesson. That Akrura, how he did a small mistake, that was quite small, of course. But nevertheless, it was gopis, he was dealing with gopis. And because of that, it is said that he got this desire to steal Shamantak Mani. Such a great devotee, still he got this desire to steal. That's why Akrura, Kritavarma and Shatadhanva, they conspired. And Shatadhanva kills Satrajit and he takes the jewel. And then when Krishna gets to know that, this Shatadhanva has killed, then Krishna takes a vow that this rascal, I will kill him. And then Krishna and Balram chase Shatadhanva. And Shatadhanva is now terrified. My God, Krishna and Balram behind. And he runs and goes to Kritavarma and says, Kritavarma, please save me. Save me. Kritavarma says, Baapre, Krishna and Balram are behind you. You get out. I cannot save you. Krishna and Balram, now they are again. No, I also cannot do anything. My God, now Shatadhanva is in the midst. And he goes to Akrura's house. And he says to Akrura, please save me. Krishna Balram, I killed Satrajit because of your order. He says, Arey Bab, Krishna Balram, no, now nobody can save you. Get out from here. Shatadhanva says, my God, you take this money. Because of his money only has problem happened. He gives the Shamantak money to Akrura and he runs away. And when he is running, Krishna Balram catch him. And he is just outside Dwarka. Outside in Dwarka. There they kill, Krishna kills Shatadhanva. But he searches, there is no jewel. Where is the jewel? And then jewel is not found. So that time, then Balram says, you return back to Dwarka and find the jewel. It is not here, he must have given somewhere. But Balram is fully transcendental, he is out. He says, now I will go to this Mithila kingdom. I want to go and visit this king, Vidya. And he goes there and he stays there for a few years. And there during that time he teaches Duryodhan the art of club fighting. Duryodhan becomes his student there in Mithila. So while Krishna returns back, and now he is thinking, where is now the jewel? Shatadhanva is killed, but jewel is not found. So now then what happens? That time Akrura knows now, my God, Krishna has come back. If Krishna finds jewel with me, he will kill me also like Sita. So he runs away from Dwarka before Krishna's coming. And then when Krishna comes, Akrura has gone to Varanasi, Banaras. And Varanasi is doing yajna and this and that. And Krishna comes to Dwarka and there are some rumors amongst Dwarkavasis. Some of the Dwarkavasis, they are thinking that there are some inauspicious signs in Dwarka. Why there are inauspicious signs? Maybe because Akrura is not here. And Akrura is famous for wherever he would be, there will be auspiciousness. So Akrura's, because Akrura is not there and Krishna must have sent Akrura somewhere. He must have hidden Akrura somewhere for this jewel. Now second time Dwarkavasis, they are again accusing Krishna. First time when was it?
When Samantaka was taken by the lion after killing Prasen.
That time again some of the Dwarkavasis, some of them, not all, that time they thought that Krishna must have taken, and now second time they are thinking that Krishna has hidden the Akrura somewhere. Krishna has hidden Akrura somewhere, and that's why there are inauspicious signs in Dwarka, and Krishna is after this money, and that's why he has hidden Akrura somewhere. Now again, second time, And actually, Shukdev Goswami is actually little annoyed while quoting this story. And how this Dwarkavasis, it's 2 times they are accusing Krishna. So how actually Krishna is the Lord and Supreme Lord? They don't know. So some of the Dwarkavasis, they don't know. So sometimes it happens. So the second lesson we learn here is actually within Krishna conscious movement, we have to be Krishna conscious. The moment, just because you are in this Krishna conscious movement, doesn't mean you are Krishna conscious. Just because we are in this Krishna conscious movement, does that guarantee that we will be Krishna conscious? Because we are in Krishna conscious movement. It guarantees or no?
No, no,
No guarantee.
We are in the movement, but actually, it is said, it is said that even the dead fish also seems to be dancing in the waves of the ocean. Because the dead, you cannot know whether it's dead or not, because the waves are dancing, the fish also appears to be going up and down, but it's dead. So like that, the movement is there and the movement is going. So just by being in the movement, you cannot be assured that you will also be Krishna conscious. Because the movement is Krishna conscious movement. That doesn't mean you are Krishna conscious. So although these Dwarkavasis, some of them, they were in Dwarka and then they were in association of Krishna, but still they were not Krishna conscious. And they are accusing one after another. So many accusations are there in Krishna. Yeah. So like that, so within Krishna conscious movement, we have to try to be Krishna conscious. So although we chant, we hear, and we read, and we serve, do service, but that doesn't so much percolates inside our being. You see, that percolation happens very less. Actually, there is one saying, like you pour so much water, sometimes you do abhyanga snan, you apply oil on your body, you apply oil. So what do you have to do after applying the oil?
We have to leave it for some time, Prabhuji.
For what?
So that it, the full skin absorbs the oil, you know.
So the oil percolates inside the body and then it can work. So immediately you cannot take bath, so you have to wait for some time. So like that, this Krishna consciousness, although we are like in the association of devotees and we are hearing, chanting, like that, but very less percolates inside. Most of that goes like this all over the body and goes down. Very less oil goes inside.
Prabhuji, you gave the example of in and on.
Yes. You remember? Good. In the dham, on the dham.
On the dham, in the dham, on the dham.
Yeah. So whether you are in Kanaya Desh dham or you are on the dham or in the dham, Kanaya Desh. So
They are trying to be in the dham, Prabhuji.
Don't go too much in, otherwise you will find oil there.
Crude oil.
So within Krishna conscious movement, we are trying to be Krishna conscious. So this Dwarkavasi is amazingly, although they are staying in Dwarka and they are in association of Krishna, but they have such attitude towards Krishna and they are accusing Krishna. So anyways.
Prabhuji, sorry to interrupt you. Your examples are brilliant, Prabhuji, really.
These are not my examples.
We can easily remember, you know.
These are all others' example. I have just copied them from here and there. I just copy paste. I'm good at copy pasting. So yeah, so then what happens? Then Krishna then then sees that, oh, they are again having this rumor. Then Krishna then goes and brings Akrura back. And he brings Akrura to Dwarka. And he asks Akrura that, I know that money is with you because you are doing such big yajna in Varanasi and you are giving so much donation. So you must be having so much wealth. This money is bringing so much wealth. So is it true or not? Akrura said, yes, I have this money. And then Akrura wants to offer it to Krishna. Then Krishna says, actually this money rightfully belongs to Satrajit. And then Satrajit's daughter, he has no sons. He has daughter, that is Satyabhama. And Satyabhama's sons who will be there, actually they will be the rightful claim of the money. But you only keep the money. This troublesome money you only keep. And then Akrura again takes back and keeps with him. But Krishna said, just once show to all the citizens that I have this money. And this money is with you, so that they will not talk about me, ill about me. So at least show this to all of them. So like that, then he shows. Akrura shows to all of them that this is the money, and then he keeps. Then actually, then the whole conspiracy ends there. And then the Dwarkavasis are convinced, so we should not have accused Krishna like that. And then the money is with Akrura and he has kept, and so that's okay. So now the third lesson we see very important is that in the whole incidents of Shamdagmani, we see that Krishna is accused. Now, if we were in place of Krishna, we would actually get frustrated in one sense. Right? These are my parshas, these are my associates, and they are accusing me. I am the supreme personality of Godhead. So third lesson, even Krishna is misunderstood in this world. And what to speak of you and me? Is it not? This is the third lesson. So even Lord Krishna is misunderstood when he comes to this world. So then what to speak of you and me? So yeah, in Prabhupada's one pastime is there. And one disciple of Prabhupada, he comes to Prabhupada and he actually he actually complains to Prabhupada. He is the temple president there actually in the temple, and he complains to Prabhupada that Prabhupada, I don't want a temple president here because people here they misunderstand me so many times. They are misunderstanding me. I am trying to do good for them, and then most of the devotees are misunderstanding me, and they are accusing me so much. I don't want to temple president. So Prabhupada said, actually, when Lord Krishna came, they misunderstood Lord Krishna. And the people accuse Krishna. And then what to speak of you and me? So just tolerate. Like the Prabhupada tells devotee, temple president there. Even people misunderstood Lord Krishna and they accuse Lord Krishna. Then what to speak of you and me? So here we see people misunderstood Lord Krishna and not ordinary people. They are Dwarkavasis only. They misunderstood Krishna. So when people misunderstand us, what is Krishna's response? You see, Krishna didn't feel like, what you Dwarkavasis, you are misunderstanding me. I am going back to Vrindavan. Those devotees are so nice. Vrindavan, सब छोड़ के आ गया मैं तुम्हारे लिए इधर. I left all those devotees, such nice devotees. They would also accuse me of stealing makhan, but that was with so much love and they had so much affection for me. And they are crying for me, they are waiting there for me. And I left everything that to come to protect you all. I protected you from Jarasandha, I protect you from okay. And Lord. Yeah. What is that, bro? MU.
Ajananti Mamudha Manusham Panumas.
Yeah. So people misunderstand that he has come as a human. And that is actually for general people. But here actually Dwarkavasis themselves are misunderstanding Krishna. So Krishna could have said easily that I did so much for you, and you people. Sometimes when you have given your life to somebody and you are serving somebody and that person only misunderstand you, then it's very painful. If other people misunderstand, then that's okay. But somebody who are you so close and these people misunderstand, then but Krishna's response was so cool. He just for first time when he was misunderstood, he went, brought the money back from Jambavan and gave back to Satrajit. See, I am not culprit. I went and I brought it back, and you see this money. It was not stolen by me. And then Dwarkavasis, he gave the clarification. And then Dwarkavasis were, oh, so Krishna didn't steal. Huh? It was that lion and then Jambuan and okay. Then the second time again, although Krishna has no hand in that, he has hidden Akrura somewhere. Akrura he has sent somewhere, and that's why there is inauspiciousness in Dwarka. And Krishna is after money again. He has kept Akrura somewhere. Then again Krishna goes and brings Akrura back and shows the money. So how Krishna is dealing in such a cool, such a balanced manner, mature way. Otherwise, if we are misunderstood not once, twice by some people, what will be our response? Can anybody tell?
We will move away from that place, Prabhuji.
Yeah, once they have misunderstood, the second time also, then you will become, what is this? Why I should be with you? We will not like to be with them. But Krishna's response is so ideal. So we should not get depressed, distressed. Sometimes some big accusation may be on us. Some small accusation, some big accusation sometimes. And we may not be involved. So we should try to clarify as much as possible. And sometimes the clarification may not happen and it may be like beyond our capacity to do clarification. And even in spite of our clarification, still people are misunderstanding. So one should just continue devotional service. One should not become distressed, depressed, and stop, chhod do, and leave everything in between. Because what my experience is, if you continue, then these things actually they are very small things. They go away after some time, and then people again have good faith on you. And again, Dwarkavasis had good faith on Lord Krishna, and again their relationship was nice. So one devotee told very nice thing. There one husband wife, they had a big quarrel and misunderstanding and so much, and they had come to this one devotee brahmachari, and they were expressing that we want to separate and to get divorce and so much misunderstanding, quarrel and this and that. So then this devotee told one statement, very nice statement, and then they are convinced that they should stay together and not separate. In that statement, what this devotee told was that don't take permanent decisions based on temporary feelings.
Wow.
Don't take permanent decisions based on temporary feelings. So, and most of the times we do that only. How many of you have experience? We take permanent decisions based on temporary feelings. So don't take permanent decisions based on temporary feelings. So these feelings sometimes come, hey, these people are misunderstanding me. So Krishna had option of leaving them. Just leave Dwarkavasi and you do what you are doing. And so many enemies are there. I am here only to protect you from all those enemies. I have left everything. And this Dwarka I have constructed just to protect all of you. You people are misunderstanding. You stay here. I am going to Vrindavan back. Krishna could have told this position tolerating
Prabhuji,
more than one.
Prabhuji,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Sudarshan Prabhuji has written something. Maybe we can go through that. Then I
What
want to
is
just share one.
I just read about it. Example of Lord's renunciation of his position, tolerating more than once. This Lord is so renounced. That's what you want to say? That he doesn't care about his position. That's true. Sudarshan also do.
I think his mic is problem. I think.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So Prabhuji,
I type. Yes.
So Prabhuji, I've had some
He's not
experience.
caring about his position to serve,
Yeah.
protect, to
Okay.
take care.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Probably I've had some experiences in the corporate setup where one of my old bosses told me, generally we encounter, of course, we can relate that to spirituality also of what exactly what you have just mentioned. When we are angry, never write any email. You know?
Wait till next day.
Yeah, you type it and keep it in draft. And then you go back in calm, composed mind, probably next day, think. Then you think, oh, maybe this email, sending this email itself is not required at all. So sometimes in the emotions, we tend to tell something which will, from a devotee perspective, it might cause an aparadh. From a corporate perspective, also we might tend to hurt something. In fact, I've heard about this. Our Shivaguna Prabhuji once in one of the classes he spoke about the emotional quotient, which is being widely discussed now. This emotional quotient is nothing from Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatham in terms of all these beautiful pastimes that you have narrated, Prabhuji. These are all they all take from those lessons are taken from the scriptures, and they are nicely packaged and given as corporate mantras. But actually, these are all completely intertwined in the scriptures. Prabhuji.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, very good. So in corporate circle and other outside world also, they know that actually when one gets angry or when gets such emotions, one should not act immediately. They also realize, but only problem is they know what to do, but they cannot do what they are supposed to do. Because that strength comes only by practicing of devotional service, where one can actually control those emotions.
And it is said IQ, EQ, SQ. SQ is that spiritual quotient.
Yeah. So yeah, so many of these people outside, they speak that when you get angry, just count till 1, 2,
drink water.
Drink water. And that may help for some time, but that cannot help for a long time. That is there. So that is for some time. So real strength as a devotee gets, we can ourselves see that how our emotions have changed so much by practicing of devotional service.
Absolutely.
Or lower modes. Yeah. So that is possible by devotional service. That is very powerful. Like that. Yeah. So you want to tell something?
Generally, Prabhu say that you should not give any promise when you are very, very happy. Like what happened to Dasharatha Maharaj. Sashi Prabhu, president of Trivandrum Tremble, he says like that.
He gives that boon, 2 boons.
Yeah, yes, boon. Yes.
Yeah.
And also not to take decisions when you are so much depressed.
Good, huh? You gave that another example. One example of this is when we are depressed, we should not, when we are angry, we should not immediately
promise.
act. Yeah, and this is nice. When one is too happy, one should
not promise.
Promise, like Dasharath gave promise to Kai. Yeah, that is also good example. Huh? So the
Prabhuji, this example may not work with children, Prabhuji. Sudarshan Vaste, Prabhuji.
No excuse.
Yes.
This is for grown up, like all of us. Yeah.
Yes.
So the principle is never take permanent decisions based on temporary feelings.
Beautiful example.
Yeah. So one may be very happy, one may be very depressed. So these are temporary. Don't take permanent decisions based on that. So this this example, we see that Krishna is misunderstood, and Krishna never took some permanent decision. So for some time, he also might have felt, "Arey, kya hai ye log?" So when we are also misunderstood, we may also feel sometimes depressed and kya hai, and then we may take some permanent decision, which is not good. So as we continue devotional service, at least I have seen that all these small misunderstandings and accusation, and then they go away after some time automatically. It said that time is the best healer. Just wait for time and continue devotional service. Anyways, continue your devotional service. And there will be so many ups and downs in life, and people may misunderstand and this and that. And then same people, when you ahead will take it on their head. They will take you on their head, and they will jump with all you. So like that will happen. Sometimes they may misunderstand, sometimes they may over glorify you, but you have to just continue going ahead and don't leave the path in between. So Krishna's, if you just observe Lord Krishna's response to so many accusation is a very ideal response. Just he tried to show that I am not the culprit, this trying to clarify. So clarifying is not bad. Sometimes we say that don't clarify also, just tolerate the accusation. That is also other extreme. Because here we see Krishna clarified. He brought the jewel and he showed, see, I am not the culprit. 2 times he did that. So we can clarify. Clarifying is not right, wrong. So we can clarify that I am not the wrongdoer. Clarifying. But now sometimes when situation goes beyond that, after clarifying also people are still misunderstanding. Then be happy and continue. After some time people forget. So time is the best healer. One should not get too much depressed or discouraged by people accusing us so much, and not leave the process in between. So that we can learn from Lord Krishna. And then later, of course, Dwarkavasi is very dear to Krishna, and we see that aspect also, how they had such a thick relationship with Lord Krishna. But so this we learn how Lord Krishna's ideal response, very cool-headed response. He was not disgusted. We see that. Yeah. So I showed you the PPT. I hope. Not much is there in this PPT. Yeah, that's all. Krishna marries 5 princes. Then Krishna's marriage ahead, how he married others. Now Rukmini, Jambavati, Satyabhama, 3 are there. And other princess marriages also in future it will be discussed. So what lesson we learn?
While executing the will of Krishna or the spiritual master, we should not offend the devotees.
When we are just a minute. Yeah, while executing the order of Lord Krishna, the Guru, we should not offend devotees. Yeah, that is the first one. Then second,
Within KC, we have to try to be in KC.
KC is what?
Conscious, Krishna conscious.
Krishna conscious. Yeah. Within Krishna conscious movement, we should try to be Krishna conscious. Just by being in the moment, we cannot be assured that we are Krishna conscious. And third one?
Even Krishna was misunderstood by the Dwarkavasis. So,
what to speak of us?
yes.
What to speak of us? So we will also misunderstood. Don't get too much depressed by somebody misunderstanding. That happens with Lord Krishna also. Not speak of us. And Sudarshan also the Guru has written, if we don't clarify, others may think we agree or accept accusation. Yeah. So we should clarify. If somebody is accusing, then we should clarify. If we don't have any hand in that, so we should clarify. There is nothing wrong in clarifying. But then sometimes after clarifying also, people still misunderstand. Then one should leave it. we should not try to over clarify also. Then if things are, then one should understand that, okay, let's continue, and then later people automatically they forget and then they will understand. So at one point we have to just renounce. Clarification is also there until some point. That is true. Yeah. Any other lessons you learn from the Shamanta conspiracy incidents? It's quite.
It's also like permanent decision based on temporary feelings.
We should not take permanent decision based on temporary feelings. Yeah. Yes.
Yes, probably it is like very costly things. Precious things should be taken care by the capable people. Otherwise, it may happen like Satrayatan Prasenjit. God was asking it not to having an affinity for that, only to protect.
Yeah. Yes.
So that is producing around 10 times of its weights of gold every day. So
85 kgs gold. Yeah. So yeah, initially Lord Krishna had asked Satrajit, give it to Ugrasen.
Yes, probably that is why everybody is doubting that if Lord is the what is called the thief of that.
Yeah. So that time they could Satrajit could have given it. And then it caused so much trouble to those who had it. Although the money was famous for giving auspiciousness, but it turned inauspicious to whomever had that money. It was bringing inauspiciousness. So we should not take what we cannot handle. That's true what you said.
Prabhuji, in the something related to what you just mentioned just now, in that 24 gurus, that lesson, one of the lessons is they talk about the crow story. The crow, when it has a vada or whatever in its beak, all the crows disturbs it, and it creates problems. The minute it throws the bait or whatever, the food, whatever, everybody goes. So similarly, the stress and anxiety is there when we
have something.
We have something, and beautifully you explained in the previous class. If we don't use the wealth in Krishna's service, that wealth will not bring us any kind of prosperity.
That's true. That's true.
So Bhagavatham says it will be taken either by thieves or by the ruler.
Yeah.
Excess wealth.
Through taxation.
Am I audible?
Taxes. Yes. So yeah, that one shloka is there. Asha paramam dukkham nirasha param sukham. Pingla says actually, Pingla.
That girl knows, that young girl.
Prostitute, yeah. Asha param dukkham, nirasha param sukham. Asha, as long as you have want to more, like that crow having the meat, so many other crows are coming and beating him. As soon as he leaves that, he is very happy. So like that, we should have whatever. Yeah. That's true. So devotee should live a simple life.
Isha Vashyam Idam Sarvam.
Yes. Quota, whatever is in the quota.
Yeah. One more point which came to my mind was that even Krishna, the Supreme Person of Godhead, was not an exception for getting misunderstood. So, we should not get bogged down, because many times in our dealings with people tend to misunderstand us. So, we can take shelter of Lord Krishna, because he himself was misunderstood by the people.
Yeah, that's true. So people will misunderstand for sure. That story I had told, I think, before, of that the donkey and the father and the son. I told.
Prabhuji, believe me or not, on Thursday I told this to my team members, Prabhuji. Yeah. Because in audit profession which I am in, nobody likes us, all of us hates us, and we always get misunderstood. So I said, we don't have a choice, we are in that kind of a profession. So your lessons are helping us even in our corporate life.
Haribo, I am happy. So good. So people will misunderstand whatever you do. So do whatever is right. So nice. People will misunderstand. Even they are misunderstood Krishna. So what to speak of us? They will misunderstand. That's very good. Thank you all. So please don't misunderstand me. By some way I have spoken something here and there.
No problem. That will never happen.
Sudarshan Vasudev Pro again writes here what? Excess wealth will be taken by thieves or by rulers. Yeah, this is in Bhagavatham somewhere, I think. Parvati, you'll have to search somewhere.
Even
Yes,
Prabhuji
it is there in Bhagavatam. Yes.
Bhagavatam, yeah.
I'm not remembering the words, but it is there. This words, either by thieves or by a ruler.
and Prabhuji, I remember, but I can't remember the full thing. I think in Srila Prabhupada's Leelamrita.
Germany. In Germany temple, I think they had access. They have collected a lot of wealth. So Prabhupada had told them that don't collect so much wealth. Use it immediately for some Krishna's service. Don't accumulate too much of wealth. But they had accumulated, and then the government took it away. That I think it happened in Germany. Germany's temple, Ispan, Germany. Leelamrita it comes.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, so we should use it immediately. Not excessive wealth we should not accumulate. It is told. Use it in some service, and that is good. Like that. Okay. So thank you so much
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
for your
Thank you,
kind
Prabhuji.
attention. And
Amlajan
next,
Prabhu, you can conclude.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
next time, hopefully, we will not have here session now. That as I told, that we will be
Moving to the new place, new flat.
New flat we have taken. We
Very
will
well.
meet next Saturday in our new center.
Very well.
Small center.
How far it is from present center, Prabhu?
Pardon?
How far it is from the present center? Distance?
From here, 1 kilometer.
That's all.
1 kilometer, yeah. It's near. But that will be like our own place. Here I stay at some Vasta's house. It's
Hare
like,
Krishna. Actually, Sri Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu's new location where he is going to preach. Prabhuji is looking for some Lakshmi support. So anybody is interested, please
Prabhu,
come forward.
Prabhu, I was planning that is around 90 chapters. So we are halfway, more than halfway. So at least some Guru Dakshina.
Yeah.
I was planning to suggest it.
So everybody can contribute 1 month salary that I will run for that building. So it will be nice for Prabhuji.
I don't require so much, but whatever. That place is small actually. It is 1 room kitchen. So I will be staying there half the week, this 3 days or like that, and 3 days in temple. So that if I stay here, then we can develop this place also. So let's see. It's now next 1st of March we are taking the position. So we'll be shifting there. So next Saturday we'll be there class. Thank you for all of your support.
Yes,
Continued
Prabhuji.
support.
Yeah, we'll be more than happy to do that.
Okay.
So thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your nectarian classes week on week. Every time we get to learn so many things which we can implement in our spiritual pursuit as well as our material pursuit. And we have no thanks is just an understatement. We are eternally indebted to the effort that you are putting week on week for Kanyadesh devotees, and I'm sure all of us who are present here will vouch for whatever I'm saying, and we are highly indebted to you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. So let us all chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 3 times for Prabhuji's spiritual growth.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Shubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo
Grace.
Jai Guru Maharaj, Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Oh,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. A humble request to all the devotees. Our one of our devotees, our Charavanan Prabhu is admitted in the hospital due to some chest pain. So he's under observation. So please chant for his speedy recovery, as well as our Sri Kumar Prabhu's sister is also admitted in the hospital on heart attack. Yeah, so please pray for her also. Altogether, we will chant 3 times Hare Krishna Mantra for their speedy recovery. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Thank you all.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.